Hey everyone, bit of an update video here. I say bit of one, that's probably going to be a longer one. Just letting you know what's going on. We're going into a bit of a tiny bit of a transitionary phase here at the channel. Just kind of baby steps sort of thing. It mainly has to do with how I want to go forward, mostly with Let's Plays and whatnot. And I have talked about this a couple of times on past Let's Play videos. But for those of you who haven't seen those videos and still keep up with things around here, I just wanted to have a more neutral, not necessarily Let's Play related forum in order to do so and keep you guys up to date on what's happening. Now, for those of you who might be freaking out and saying, "Oh no, what's happening? Where are you going?" No, we're not going anywhere per se. The channel is still going to be an entity. It's still going to be a thing. It's still going to be updated with things, but I'm not really going to be updating stuff directly through YouTube on a regular basis anymore. At least when we get everything all transitioned over to what we want to do, because it's still probably going to be a little while off. I'm not sure exactly how long it's going to be. I do know that it is going to be at the very least when we finish Ocarina of Time, which is actually going to be very soon here. But I'm fairly sure that we'll you know, as I'm getting equipment in that I want to use for this new project, or I guess where I want to go with this, we will still be doing Let's Play videos and whatnot in the meantime. It's just I'm really not sure when exactly everything is going to swap over, but rather than doing pre-recorded Let's Plays, I am going to be swapping over more to streaming on Twitch. The reason for this is because I've learned over the years when it comes to Let's Plays, there are two major facets to the process. There's the making of Let's Plays, and then there's the editing and rendering of Let's Plays. And while I don't particularly hate doing either one, making the Let's Plays is a heck of a lot more fun than the editing process, because let me tell you, I mean, just, you know, the making part is playing video games and talking with friends, and that's, you know, all great, and that's the part I have the most fun with. Editing, well, again, I don't think it's that bad, but it is a very time-consuming process. And considering that I have a full-time day job, and I haven't been able to keep up a consistent schedule as it is. I think that streaming is going to help streamline that unintentional pun. It's going to help streamline things more toward, you know, I'll be able to, you know, do the make recording section of it, and then let the editing and whatnot happen, you know, over time. I mean, yeah, the streams are live, but I have set up a Twitch account, and I do have that Twitch account set up to basically automatically put any archives up on here. So if you miss the streams, you can still see those Let's Plays and whatnot. I mainly wanted to wait until we're done with Ocarina of Time, because I really don't want to leave anything unfinished here before I swap over. And on that note, I do think it would be best if I cancel that Final Fantasy XIV Let's Play I started. That was kind of a bad idea. Especially considering that it was, meant to be a backup LP in case Greg wasn't able to make it on a particular night. I was just like, oh, I'll just boot up Final Fantasy XIV and do some episodes of that. Final Fantasy XIV is a game that I really have to be in the mood to play. And, that all... You know, well, it has been a while since I have seen the Realm Reborn story, and I was kind of excited for that. At the same time, it got to a point where Shadowbringers came out, and I just wanted to play Shadowbringers all the time, and I didn't want to go back to the alt character. And also, I know I said A, and I'm not even bringing up a B or a C. I'm probably not going to, either way. The main factor is that I don't have my my account isn't perpetually my subscription, I should say, is not perpetually renewed. I don't use a credit card to like renew whenever time runs out. It doesn't automatically renew. I use time codes that I buy separately, and then use those time codes. And then whenever I run out of time, you know, if I'm in the middle of something big, I can always, you know, put it off and not have to pay for it right away and lose, you know, time toward that. I can just like renew whenever I want to renew, and I'm ready to, you know, start playing again. Like currently my account is inactive. It has been for a couple weeks. And it's still going to be a couple days because there's still a couple of things that, you know, on the side that I want to finish up before I go back to playing that again. So, you know, it's more convenient for me to do it that way. And, unfortunately, that does mean that, you know, if my account is inactive, I can't record anything from there. So, I think it's going to be for the best that, I go just ahead and just cancel that. It's a full-blown MMORPG with 3 expansions at this point. And that's a lot of ground to cover for something that is supposed to be like a backup thing. I don't know if I'll like stream Final Fantasy XIV in the future. Probably won't, but you know, that's an option, but I'm not going to continue on with that Let's Play, so I'm going to, you know, stop that here and now. But that's that. I know, like I said, we'll probably do some other LPs in the meantime before we switch over completely. But then once we switch over, that's where that's where the game videos are going to be coming from, is going on to that. As far as everything else that we've been doing, like the toy videos that I do, the podcast, the other stuff here and there, it's really not something. It's something, again, that I really have to be in the mood to do. Especially since whenever I come up with the idea for maybe doing a feature on a podcast, and then it ends up being like a slow news day, and I can't find anything else to talk about, and I really don't want to necessarily do a podcast for like necessarily an individual you know, feature. I mean, we've done that before, but we've also tried to, you know, force like even like quick news things in there, and it just didn't work out as well. So while I still will be doing those videos from time to time, it's not really going to be a regular thing anymore. So yeah, I will still be doing. I'm just repeating myself now. I actually do have a toy video in the wings, ready to be edited and all that. But yeah, other than that, that's not as much as I would have liked to have these as regular features. That just wasn't in the cards. Part of that, you know, full-time job is a lot of days I just get home from work and I don't want to get on my computer and do editing and stuff. I just want to, you know, sit down on the couch, you know, watch TV and just relax. So that's the editing. I don't want to get on the computer. That's just how that is. Now, the other major kind of thing-ish is that the eagle-eyed viewer may have noticed that I did change the name of the channel from Squeeze the World Productions to Captain Floofers. Captain Floofers, if you've been keeping up with any of our Final Fantasy XIV hijinks that we've done, is the name of my character on Final Fantasy XIV. And while I have been going by Rado Goji for years, Captain Floofers is more something that I morally identify with now. I kind of like the name better. And if Hell freezes over and I do become successful at this whole shindig, I think it would be better to not have a copywritten, you know, term or word as a name, because Rado Goji is a copyrighted thing. It's the official name of the Godzilla suit that was used for Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2 back in 1993. It was my favorite movie at the time, and that's where I got the name. Captain Floofers is more of a neutral thing. I have a lot more people who, you know, mostly through Final Fantasy, but also, you know, some real-life friends who see me more as you know, Floofers or Floof or whatever than, you know, Rado Goji. I barely use Rado Goji for anything anymore. I've even, on many of my other accounts and things, I've swapped over from, you know, being Rado Goji to Captain Floofers. As a result, with the exception of that one toy video, for any videos going forward, I'll be referring to myself as Captain Floofers rather than Rado Goji, even with the few Let's Play videos we have coming up in the future. I mean, we just did a recording session last night, and I started going by Captain Floofers in that as well. So that's going to be a name change thing. As far as Squeeze the World is concerned, it's still going to be an entity. I just mainly associate that with both me and Greg, and it didn't feel right using that as the name of the YouTube channel when this is also my personal YouTube channel that I use to watch videos and things. It's not like a separate company entity or anything like that. I mean, as the channel. So I think it would be more appropriate, since this is my personal channel, to use, you know, a name that more suits me. But Squeeze the World will still be used in video titles and whatnot. The remaining Let's Play videos that we'll be doing, or we'll probably even do some special feature Let's Play things that aren't going to be on Twitch for, you know, if we do drunk runs and whatnot. I know that you're not allowed to be visibly intoxicated while streaming on Twitch. That is a no-no. So if we want to do a drunk run or something like that, that would go straight up to YouTube. So I would, you know, label those future videos as Squeeze the World Gaming. Squeeze the World Toys, I'm still going to use that for any toy videos that I do. Squeeze the World Podcast, if we do any, you know, odd episodes of the podcast or anything like that, it'll still be Squeeze the World. But as far as, you know, I mean, I'm probably not going to use it for the streaming aspect of things. But as far as the channel title, it's still going to be Captain Floofers, but Squeeze the World is still going to be a thing. So yeah, and as far as the streaming itself is concerned, it isn't going to be just me and Greg the whole time. My plan is to do 2 streaming sessions a week. Thursdays are going to be a streaming session with me and Greg. And then I'll also have one day, either Tuesdays or Saturdays, I think would work best for me. But either one of those would be a Floofers only stream where I play a different game that we're not playing on the Greg and Patrick stream, but rather another game that I'm playing on my own. Jordan has expressed interest in joining us here and there too. I don't know how successful he's going to be there, because with Sonic Adventure he wasn't able to make it 100% of the time. But he's going to see what he can do, because you know, he's more than welcome to join us as well. And yeah, that's pretty much the long and short of it. So channel's not going anywhere. It's just going to be a bit of a format change. We're in the transition a transition phase of getting to that point. But I do hope that you'll continue to stick around and see what great things we may or may not have in store in the future. So until then, I've been Captain Floofers, and I'll be here next time. Join me, won't you?